Are you even reading if you're not reading diverse books? Books from different cultures, languages, times, writers, books on different subjects, tropes, perspectives, and characters. You must do all that to do justice to one of the best habits known to mankind, reading books. But if you're looking to read German books, you have started watching one of the best videos on the internet, because in this video, I'm going to introduce you to 7 very interesting German contemporary fiction books. Yes, these books were written originally in German by either German writers or Austrian writers or Swiss writers, and we are very lucky because in India we now have English versions of these books easily accessible. This video is brought to you in collaboration with the Goethe-Institut, Max Mueller Bhavan, New Delhi. All the books that I mentioned in this video are available in English on Amazon.in via Seagull Books Publishers. This publisher, based in Kolkata, India, specializes in providing you with English translations of German books. Their collection, also known as the German List, has over 100 such amazing books. Thanks to Goethe-Institut, you can also find these and many such translated works in their online library on Lyre, which you can download for free. More details are down below in the description. So I'll give you 7 books in this video. So let's start with number 7. On number 7, I have Blumenberg by Sibylle Leavitt-Scharoff. This book features the famous German philosopher Hans Blumenberg, and hence its name. One day, this philosopher finds a lion just casually hanging out in his study, and then the next day, the lion reappears while he's delivering a lecture, but none of his students see that lion. So it's a fictional tale featuring this real-life philosopher and his thoughts on lions in philosophy, theology, and history. The author of this book is actually very famous in the genre of contemporary German literature. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2023, but gifted the world with a few more interesting works that you should check out for sure. On number 6, I have August by Christa Wolf. Christa Wolf is considered one of the most important writers from former East Germany. She has written several books, some of which even landed her in trouble with the government. August is her last fiction book. The book features a young patient who has lost both his parents and is at a tuberculosis hospital undergoing treatment. The patient's name is, any guesses? It's August, and August also adores this older girl who actually controls this hospital ward. In the story, August is reflecting on his life and what this girl and the whole ordeal taught him. So there's this book which I found very interesting, and there's another Christa Wolf book I feel is worth a try. It's called Cassandra, which is a retelling of the story of the fall of Troy from the point of view of a woman. If you are up for a Trojan War or Greek mythology retelling, you can check out this book for sure. Now, book number 5 is Charges the Supplicants by Elfriede Jelinek. This is a rather short book. It's only 144 pages long, but its subject is quite serious and thought-provoking. The book is on the refugee problem. It's an analysis on the plight of refugees from the ancient times to the present. It's about the suffering they go through, the treatment and the problems they face, and the politics and society's treatment towards the refugees. You know, one of the biggest reasons why we must read fiction is to understand other people's perspective and to learn to empathize with people. And because of that, I think a book like this is rare but important to read. So do check it out. Again, the link to buy this book and really all the books mentioned in this video are down below in the description. Before we move on to the next book, I do want to highlight Elfriede's masterpiece, The Piano Teacher. It's the most famous novel of this author, who was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2004. The book, The Piano Teacher, is about this 38-year-old piano teacher who still lives with her mom and has a pretty boring life. Only she indulges in some dark desires of hers. It's a psychosexual drama that showcases the intensity and frankness of Elfriede Jelinek's writing. Moving on to book number 4, The High-Rise Diver by Julia von Lucadou. Imagine a reality where you are under constant surveillance and your worth is judged through your performance metrics. And in this very compelling dystopian world, there's Riva, who is a top athlete with millions of fans, but now she has decided to take a break. But in this world of constant surveillance, there's a person tasked to watch Riva's every move and get her back to doing what she does best. It's a dystopian fiction tale of a world we all fear and may already be living in, and a story of exerting control on human life that crosses all acceptable boundaries of privacy and free will. That's The High-Rise Diver for you, and it's the author's debut novel that has been praised a lot and is also considered one of the best books to get started with postmodern German literature. On number 3, I have What Was Before by Martin Mosbach. Are you in the mood to read a book with romance, relationships, and something that's also funny? Because that's one of my favorite types of contemporary fiction settings. They make for great lighter reads that you can go through while sipping a cup of tea or coffee on a lazy Sunday afternoon. I know you want such a book. So something like that would be What Was Before by Martin Mosbach. It starts with a very romantic scene featuring a couple, a scene that ends with a question that's going to change everything. The question was, what was your life like before you met me? And the answer to that becomes this entire book full of intrigue, betrayal, and more. The story also blends humor and relationships and makes a book that is considered as the first great social novel of the 21st century in Germany. Moving on to number 2, A Slap in the Face by Abbas Khider. This is a book written by a German author with an Iraqi origin. The book tells the story of an Iraqi refugee who has been living in Germany, but his right to asylum has now been revoked. Through the story, we learn of this person's struggles back home and why he left and his attempts to build a new life in Germany. But now his new life is threatened and he ends up actually tying his caseworker to a chair just so she would listen and understand what it means to be this person who's not allowed to live either at his home or abroad. I think this book presents a unique perspective that's not often found in books. The person's story not only introduces you to life in Germany as a migrant, but also speaks of the subject of mass migration, which often provokes quite polarized reactions these days. And lastly, on number 1, I have The God Behind the Window by Michael Krüger. Okay, this is a rather sad book, but there's often a lot of beauty in sad, melancholic stories. At least I believe that and love these kind of books, and that's why I put this at number 1 amongst other reasons. This one, The God Behind the Window, is a collection of 13 stories told from a first person perspective by sad and old male narrators. These stories are full of wisdom as well as the sadness that often comes with old age. So basically, if you're curious about the perspectives of old people and some stories that tell you of their narratives, try out this book. I personally love this since learning from age really gives you a perspective about yourself getting old and how life changes quite rapidly as you start hitting those middle age and older numbers in your human life. And with this, it's a wrap. Like I promised, you have 7 really interesting titles from German literature that you can pick up right away. If you're looking for more such translated contemporary fiction books from German literature, check out the complete The German list available at Goethe-Institut's website. And you know what? There's an online resource called From the German Bookshelves available on Goethe-Institut's website where you can continue exploring German literature and learn more about the modern day authors and their greatest works. A lot of these books are available on Goethe-Institut's online library online and can be downloaded and read for free. Don't forget to check out the description for links to all the books I mentioned as well as to the German list and the online library on Lyre. Happy reading!